Greg, Michelle and Barack Obama were essentially the keynote speakers at the second night of the Democratic National Convention on Tuesday. The former First Lady and President delivered speeches with high praise for Kamala Harris.
There is no other choice than Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. No other choice.
America's ready for a new chapter. America's ready for a better story. We are ready for a President Kamala Harris.
There was also strong criticism of Republican nominee Donald Trump. Then came the jab going viral on social media and perhaps stoking the flames of racial divide.
Who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs?
With a bold vision for America's future as the theme Tuesday night, Barack Obama told the crowd this.
We do not need 4 more years of bluster and bumbling and chaos. We have seen that movie before, and we all know that the sequel is usually worse.
Today's DNC theme is a fight for our freedoms. Now, earlier this afternoon, we spoke to Chicago residents that work near the Israeli consulate on West Madison Street about the DNC and the protesters in the area last night. Did you see the protesters themselves?
Yeah, I did. I saw them. They were on Michigan, and then they went up down Washington Street, and then ended up going towards Lake Street and to the West Loop.
I feel like she's probably the best option since we don't have Joe Biden anymore. So I feel pretty good about it. Will she win? I'm not sure, but we'll see.
And if you had to rattle off 1 or 2 of her accomplishments, what has she done the most that you think stands out?
Man, personally, from someone, right, who I would say I'm not very political, I'm not going to follow all of the policies to the T.
A little surprised at that. She didn't get any votes. In 2016, she didn't get any delegates. You know, she is the pick because she was the vice president. So I'm a little surprised that the Democrats didn't put forth someone that, possibly could have, gotten some votes beforehand.
Tonight is vice presidential nominee Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Big night here at the United Center. No reports yet, at least, of any major protests, but we'll be keeping an eye out. Fior?
Mike, in other news, the Bureau of Labor Statistics revised job growth numbers from the first quarter of 2024, and the news is not good. CNBC is reporting that 818,000 jobs reported back then didn't exist, and Bloomberg reports U.S. job growth in the year through March was likely far less robust than initially estimated, which risks fueling concerns that the Federal Reserve is falling further behind the curve to lower interest rates. The revision is being called a lie by the Trump campaign and election interference. The Trump Vance campaign website posted Kamala was cooking the books the whole time and lying to the American people while she did it. At the same time, the New York Fed is showing trouble for the economy and unemployment, all under the Biden-Harris watch. Several congressional Democrats in tight re-election races, especially in GOP-leaning states or House districts, are skipping Kamala Harris's nominating party at the convention in Chicago this week. According to Just the News, Montana Democrat Senator Jon Tester is the only delegate from the red state to withhold a vote from backing Harris and reportedly plans to campaign, hold a fundraiser, and farm instead of attending the convention this week. Nevada Senator Jackie Rosen told the New York Times she would be campaigning for re-election this week and would remain near Nevada. Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown told CNN he didn't plan to attend the DNC convention this year, although he's attended every one since 1996. He's reportedly not planning to campaign with Harris either. According to Just the News, Tester, Brown, and Rosen are the 3 most likely Democrats to lose their Senate seats in November. Paul?
Fior, Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz's misleading claims surrounding in vitro fertilization, or IVF, has created new difficulties, as reported by the Washington Examiner. The Harris campaign posted a video on X with Walz making the claim.
First of all, it was up to him. I wouldn't have a family because of IVF and the things that we need to do reproductive. My kids were born through that that way.
Gwen Walz clarified that they conceived their children through intrauterine insemination, not IVF. The Harris-Walz campaign excused Walz's misleading claims as speaking like, quote, how normal people talk, and blasted the Trump-Vance team as cruel and out of touch on women's health care. But the former president posted on Truth Social earlier this year that Republicans were trying to make having children easier, not harder, and he supported IVF in every state. Well, the DNC is going on in Chicago. Donald Trump and running mate J.D. Vance are hitting the campaign trail in North Carolina. Now, this is the first time Trump has held an outdoor rally since the assassination attempt on his life in Pennsylvania. An extra layer of security was put in place prior to today's event in Asheboro, North Carolina. It included storage containers stacked around the perimeter and bulletproof glass, creating a protective wall across the stage. At his rally, the former president focused on national security.
But we defeated ISIS, we killed the world's top terrorists, we secured our borders, we achieved energy independence, we stood up to China, we protected Israel, we made peace in the Middle East with the Abraham Accords, and more. We did things like nobody ever heard of, and we brought our troops mostly back home. We didn't start any wars for 79 years it was before. We didn't start wars. 79, 80 years. Everybody said, oh, he's going to start wars with his attitude. No, my attitude kept us out of wars. I stopped wars with phone calls.
The event was part of Trump and Vance's week-long series of rallies to counter the Democratic National Convention. Going back to you.